Hi folks, Carrie Biggett with Altor, Head of North America Sales. Thank you for joining us for another Minute with Altor. Today's guest is David Marcus. David is the Vice President of Solutions for Hotel Connects. And welcome, David. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Carrie, and thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. So, COVID-19 has brought along a lot of changes, and we're going to talk specifically for the hotel industry here. Share your thoughts on the hotel trends and the environment of negotiation.
So thanks, Carrie. And it's a really tough environment, as everyone knows. What we're seeing, a lot of hotel closures. Some hotels will be reopening. And from a trend perspective, we see, I think there's already an industry consensus that domestic travel will open up before international. From a hotel perspective, really the recovery as it happens is really not going to be uniform. Different hotels are going to open at different rates. As the recovery progresses, occupancies will grow at different rates, and it really will be different and will be very fragmented. Different countries, different regions, and even in the United States, as you follow the recovery, the occupancy will return at different paces, as well as pricing. For the short time, pricing is going to be down. Even in the early stages of the recovery, we're going to see very low prices, but long term, in different markets, pricing will start to go back up slowly over the long term.
So this week has been a fun week in the travel industry. There's been a little bit of a controversial happening with the hotel. There was a statement that was put out. I'd love your response to the statement of postponing hotel RFPs until 2021.
Absolutely, and thanks for that question. Definitely read the GBTA recommendation to roll over rates until 2021. I understand that perspective from a resource vantage point. It's not a position that we agree with. We're really moving into a very, very different environment. If you look at negotiations last year, we were looking at an overall high, literally with rates going up since 2008. And at that point of time, the rates, particularly many of the fixed rates that were negotiated, made sense in that environment. We're moving now really into an all-time low, and it's going to be low for the most part of 2021. So there are some real challenges around the concept of rolling over rates. On the one hand, if a client has deeply discounted dynamic rates in place, yes, it might make sense to extend those rates. But for clients and companies that have fixed rates that were in place in that environment for 2019, it doesn't make sense, in my view, to roll those rates over. For example, if you rely on those rates, they will be very much incongruent with the market environment going into early next year. What I would potentially look at if I were a client was really relooking at those rates, look at opportunities, both fixed and dynamic rates, look at opportunities to renegotiate dynamic rates. But in that environment, look, every company has its own risk, but I think given that we really don't have much visibility into rates in 2021, carrying over fixed rates and negotiating the same types of fixed rates are going to be very risky in that environment. The other risks that buyers are going to have to consider is the integrity of their hotel programs. So for example, if market rates are very low, there are going to be more challenges to program compliance. Why would you book a rate that was in place last year? There could be challenges around attachment rates being reduced. And then you have the whole other issue around cleanliness and hygiene and all these other things buyers have to look at when putting together their hotel program. From our perspective, the market is at an all-time low. It's a very different market. We have to look at things very differently. And it's actually an enormous opportunity for buyers to restructure and reset their programs for next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and David, you're spot on. We need to continue these conversations because things are changing rapidly. And you know, as we all together figure this out in the new norm, appreciate your candidness and appreciate your time here. And folks, we appreciate you being part of A Minute with Altor. Stay tuned to further social media posts for further updates as we receive them, and have a great day.